Do you wonder if there's a way to absolutely know that it's not your intuition, your spirit guides, or your higher self? Well, I'm here to help. In this video, I want to share with you 5 major red flags, major tells, so you can immediately know that it is not the voice of your spirit speaking. These are not your guides, not your angels. So you can be aware of the different vibrational signatures, the different tells, so you can have more confidence in trusting yourself and your intuition. This past week, I had a reading with a client, and she was telling me about some messages that she had gotten from her spirit guides. And my immediate reaction, my immediate red flag was, that's not your spirit guides. That's not your intuition speaking. And so I wanted to share with you some of the ways, some of the telltale signs, 5 telltale signs that you can use to know, is this my intuition, my imagination, overthinking, or wishful thinking? So let's get into it. But before I go any further, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Sonia. I'm a 4th generation intuitive, and I teach you how to plug back into your innate divine self. And if you are new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're returning, welcome back. It's always a pleasure. Don't forget to hit subscribe and that little bell notification, because I release new videos every single week. And speaking of spirit guides, I'm actually hosting a live workshop on November 3rd from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Central. It's gonna be a live workshop on how to communicate and build a relationship with your spirit guides. Your intuition will have questions, it'll be interactive, it'll be so much fun. So I definitely encourage you to sign up and join me. So check out the description box below for any info, plus there's tons of free resources. So enough housekeeping, let's get into it. Telltale sign number 1. It flatters you. The voice of your spirit, the voice of your intuition, and even your spirit guides do not use flattery. That is the language of the ego. So if it's telling you that you are so wonderful and special and better and uses that as an approach, giant red flag. Your intuition is the voice of your spirit, and your spirit guides communicate through that same portal, through signs, symbols, messages, and they don't use flattery, because flattery is what appeals to our ego self. It's not connected to our truth, it's not connected to the present moment, it's not grounded in reality, and actually causes confusion, because that's not how spirit speaks. Spirit is rooted in deep self-love, love for yourself, self-worth, and will always point you to your true north. So sometimes that message isn't that flattering. I know for myself, I have gotten intuitive hits, nudges, and where I've been like, this does not appeal to my ego. This is not a flattering light. So if it's flattering, not your spirit guides, not your intuition. Absolutely not. Telltale sign number 2. This is key. If it uses the words should, have to, must, giant red flag. Those words are often the language of our intellect. Intellect imposes a mandate. It also doesn't give us a lot of choice. You should go and have a spirit. You should meditate every morning. You should do X, Y, and Z. Don't should on yourself, because your spirit, your guides don't should on you. So anytime that comes up, if you're trying to access guidance, trying to access solutions, even opening some listening from within, if it uses that language, should, you have to, you must, not your spirit, not your spirit guides, 110%. The third one is your spirit guides, your intuition, your spirit will never be menacing. It'll never be threatening. It will never be cruel. It will never feel scary. And that is something that's really important. Now, just the other week I was in a reading with that same client who was telling me about these messages from her spirit guides, and they were scary, really based in fear, and really in a way were isolating. That is not your spirit. That is not your guides. If you feel afraid, that means 100% it's not anything that comes from a higher plane of divine guidance and support. And when those things, if that comes up for you, if that's something that happens very regularly, absolutely take a pause, and not only getting rooted back into your body, but just paying attention, because sometimes even with mental illness that is very common and prevalent throughout the United States, throughout the world, that have a lot of shame around it, can sometimes be disguised as the voice of your guides, of your spirit, of your angels. It's not it. That is not it at all. So if that's something that's happening, definitely go get some help and support and seek some resources, because there's no shame in it, because that is not how spirit talks, walks, or feels. Fourth, and I touched on this before, where we can really have a red flag is if anything shows up as a mandate. Now, it leaves you no choice. The big thing around our spirit guides, is they always respect and support your free will choice. They will never give you an absolute. That's where even we come back to number 2, should, have to, must. That is not the voice of your spirit. Those are not your spirit guides. Because, within that is our gift of free will. That is our gift of choice. And our spirit and our guides love us unconditionally. They will point us to our true north. They will guide us to what is in our highest good, even if it's not something that we necessarily want to hear. But again, the divine will always support your right to choose, and will still lovingly be there no matter what choice you make. And last but not least, if any messages that come in that are really grandiose, that make you special, that make you different, that make you more elevated, that is not your spirit. That is not your spirit guides. A lot of times that's our imagination, or even our higher intellect faking us out. I remember years ago, I had a client who every single time we talked about her spirit or her spirit guides, all of a sudden it was like Mother Marin, the Ascended Masters, and every basically big name in spirituality were the ones that constantly came in and were the ones that showing up. Now, can we connect with those energies? Absolutely. Can they show up? Absolutely. But if all of your spirit and all of your guides basically make you feel, are basically like the Madonna of the spirit world only, that's not your spirit and that's not your guides. That's of where we can confuse, and our higher intellect can confuse being special. If it makes you special, better than, self-separates out, gives you any sort of not your spirit and not your guides. So those are 5 that are off the top of my head of some really clear ways to know this isn't the voice of spirit. This isn't my spirit guides. This can even just be my very creative intellect that can come in. So, there we go. We got our angels. My power was out. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you really want to learn how to communicate and connect with your spirit, with your guides, with your higher self, really move into mastery so you're out of doubt and confusion, absolutely come to my workshop November 3rd. It's gonna be so much fun. It'll be recorded. I'll send you the recording so you can work it again. You will absolutely love it. And like I said, don't forget to hit subscribe. Let me know, what do you think? How does your spirit, how do your guides communicate with you? What are your tells? So I can't wait. Tell me in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. Oh, my love. Bye.